Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here, and today is another episode of cmego. And I just play and we'll keep on trying this and see what happens. This is another episode of clearing off my desk. So I have this plastic tray, and I have two of them here, and I use these trays to pile stuff into. And I have a lot of these trays, so I have a huge pile of stuff. And it just, whatever happens, gets thrown in here until I get to the point where they are teetering, because they all fit inside one of each other. And so they're teetering and I have to do something with them. Some of these trays are organized in the sense that I have some small coffee stain paper here and some scrappy bits of coffee stain. And then this one is just a sad story. I just kept adding to this. So, all you get to do is watch me do stuff and see what I make with it or how I use it. And I'm just going to have a play and try to use some of this up. Not that I'll get it all done or completely decorated because I'm just working with what's in here, but I just need to manage this and get it down to some kind of gone, some kind of gone. How's that? So the first thing I'm going to do is just put this off to the side a little bit so you can see it. We're not playing, 10 out of the box. We're playing whatever happens, happens. And so I have this cardboard tray, chipboard tray. It did hold some jars at one time, and it didn't quite work for me. So I took the jars out of it. And I'm just going to, where there's different fold lines, I'm going to cut this into a manageable piece. So I'm going to cut all these little end pieces off to start. And I think I have several of these trays in here. And just cutting those off. This one seems to be missing some. I must have done something with them at one time. Okay, so I'm just going to review the situation here. I've got, this would make a really cute little tab on something. So there we go, we got a tab. I'm going to cut this off. And just fold it down a little bit better. And I don't know if I want to trim the corners or not. This is kind of a cute side of it as well. That would be, well, maybe we'll just trim it sort of straight or to match this one a little bit. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I can just put this aside as a tab. We've got that. And then these are just little pieces. Now this might be, these might be good to use as little spot bits. So I'm just cutting them straight. I hope this isn't too boring. And I'm going to just leave them on the table until I have a better idea of what I'm doing today. And same with this one. Cutting all of this reasonably straight. And I'm only giving myself 30 minutes to do all this. Yeah, these look like little tabs to me. And this one will be pretty much the same thing, except I don't really want the number 4 in there, so I'm just going to cut off on either side of the 4. Although the number 4 might be interesting, right? Itself. Okay, we'll keep the number 4. And just cut away the design. So I just have this number 4. And another little tab thing. I want to just straighten this out. It's got a little bit of a nub there. And same with this one. So this is how I work. Not necessarily doing it all at once like this, but this is how I work off camera. I use all these little pieces. So that's what's getting discarded. So I think we can handle that. And now there's some sides on here as well. So I am going to cut off the sides first and see what we got here. Because it's kind of a heavier weight, I don't think they would make good flips, but they might make good little strips of something. So that'll go into my strip box. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Now, it probably would have been easier to cut them on the cutter, but they're too big to fit in my little cutter, which I could fit on my desk. And my big cutter's on the other side of the room. So I will trim them a little bit better, but I've got a nice little strip there that I can use for something. Now I'm just going to and cut along that line as well. So what do we get? Another little strip. That's kind of cute. Looks like little canning jars. And we'll cut off this long piece here. And now this one has words on it, but that's okay. I can still build on that. But the main thing is to get it so it's flat and usable, manageable. So I'm just going to trim that down as well. And the cute strip. I probably could have left these and made more tabs, but I have 2 more of these in this box, so I'll do that with the next one, but I'll just keep these as strips. Okay, so I have some strips that I can work with. They may not be something we use today. I have some more strips right here. Just going to leave them all together because they will go in my... I have another basket like this for strips. So I have this big piece of cardboard. I could use it the way it is and just make 2 tags. I could make a folded tag. I think I'm just going to cut it in half. Now I'm going to do a little bit of trimming on that. And there, I will use that little cutter and hopefully it works. Okay, this one looks pretty good, I think. It's not too bad. And then this one is, it's got a little bit of a edge there from where I cut it off. So I'm going to just cut it straight. Straight-ish. Okay, that's gone there and it's gone off of there. So I think that's good to go. And I'm going to turn these into 2 tags. So I'm going to take some book page and my ruler. Now I will sew these afterwards, but now this was just right in the same box, this little piece. So I figured everything in here is going to eventually get used up. Now I kind of like that that's showing these little marks around the edge here. So I'm just going to take my glue paper. And see if we can make this idea work to make stuff with this thing on camera. And I'm going to lay that on the inside of that pattern. It's not that a lot of it will show, but a little bit will show. Oop, too far over here. Try that again. I'm calling this the Curse of Cindy and Darcy. Maybe not a curse, the spell. How's that? A spell that they've put me under. I'm determined to complete something with my scraps online. I'm just folding that over. And so I've got a good base to work with this card. Let's quickly do the other one. So same thing. I'm just going to cut it reasonably to match this thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to end up with more scraps than what I have by the time I'm done, right? No, I hope not. Okay, so that will fit in there nicely. So I'll just put some glue on here again. Now I see I didn't cut that perfectly straight. I'm just going to cut a little trim off the bottom here. And put a little bit of glue on this. I feel like I'm in a marathon or something trying to do this. And then gluing that back. Okay, I have 2 tag bases and I do have this one tab, so I'm just going to attach it there with my little attacher. That's actually not bad, eh? We'll go this way. Okay, and so since this is the front of the card, I can't make up my mind. Yeah, I'm going to go this way. Just center it a little bit. Maybe I should glue it and then staple, right? And then this way I have a better chance of holding it in place. Oh, now I went the other direction after all that thinking. Don't think, Kim, just do it. Should have just done it. Okay, I've at least got one little piece stuck on, and I'm going to grab my tiny attacher. I would really like to know your thoughts on what I'm doing. Be kind, but be honest. Okay, so I've stapled this on, even though I've glued it, and I will cover the staples with something afterwards. But I always like to take my pliers and push the staples in, because I don't like the chance that I might catch on them. As well, this way they don't feel lumpy when I put something over top to hide the staples. So I've got that one, and I've got this one, and I will come back to decorating them in a little bit, because I just want to see how far I can go with what I have here. Okay, so 2 taggish type bases, and I use that tab. And then I've got this. This is a piece of packaging, and it's got some ugly bits on here. It's like a, I guess it was glue or something to oh, a better tool. This is one of those window cleaner tools. I think that'll come off. Or am I going to end up chewing it up more? Nope, it's not going to come off. So I will take a piece of sandpaper and just sand it down. There we go. Okay, that'll at least leave it smoother. If you don't have sandpaper to do stuff like this at home, you can always use an emery board. Emery boards come in packages of like 20 or 30. And so it's always handy to have a couple in your supply box if you don't have sandpaper. Okay, nothing on the back side of this except this sticker. I don't know if I can get this sticker off. I could if I had my heat tool here, but I'll just have to maybe live with it. Live with the rough edges, just taking that off a little bit. Okay, so my thought was I could have made a big tag out of this. It's got some pretty florals on the edges. I'm thinking I'm going to make it into like a little notebook. So I'm going to cover some of this up. Not that it really makes much difference because you're not going to see it, but I think I'll cover it up with something. Well, since we've got this book page here, let's do the same thing. Let's put a little bit of book page on here. You don't have to cover the whole thing. And just cover it like that. Now I don't mind that little flower sticking up. I don't like that, so we'll work on. Oh, I like this map. Yeah, maybe I'll have the map on the outside. Okay, so taking my glue again, I'm just going to apply glue to this book page. And cover up the words up there on this side. Looks reasonably straight. Okay, so those are the things we have to cover up yet. And then there's some stuff down here to cover up. There's a lot down here to cover up. Okay, what have I got? I've got this and that and that. I can just use a piece of, no, it's too white. Okay, I guess I got to use this because that's what's in the box. So I will go across first and do the wide one. Maybe this will be the inside of my notebook. Okay, I'll put that one. I don't need this edge piece, margin. Okay, I'm going to cover that up. And then cover this up. Okay, so this is covered now. I can further embellish this. And then this is covered with the map. I could possibly leave this as the outside instead and leave this as the inside, but I kind of like this too. Okay, so this is going to be the inside. Now my thought was to get the coffee dyed papers and cut them all to fit in here. Oh, that's an envelope. Okay, maybe that one. A couple pages like that. I see this one. And these were things I had printed that didn't turn out that well. So I'll save that for something else. What's this one? Okay, this one's got a clean back to it. So I will use a couple pieces of this. Okay. Now, you've seen me make notebooks before, but like I said, we're working to get this off of my desk. So let's start with this one. I want this one to be almost the full length. So I'm going to follow the line because this is a lined paper. Maybe I'll take it down to there. Okay. Take it that way. And I'm just going to use half of it. So there's one page. And I think I'll use this page. I don't want this barcode in here, so tear that off. Okay, so we've got 2 pages. Oh, I think I can get a few notebooks out of here. Okay, I'm going to use this one. I think I'll go this way. And maybe a very slim one of this. Okay, I think I'll stick that under like that. And I'll use that one. That gives us 5. And maybe this one. Yeah. Okay, so 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and I'm going to line it up now in here. And then taking my stapler again, I'm going to staple this. Maybe I'll pull it down just a little bit more. Yeah. No, you know what? I'm going to take it back up. Sorry. I am wishy-washy. Okay, about like that. And I always staple upside down. So the staples are on this side. And that gives me a nice flat back there, and I can cover that up with something. And taking my pliers and pressing those in. I now have a little notebook that's ready for further embellishing. I'm just going to take a little piece off the bottom there if I can, if it will let me. Sometimes you got to do this slowly and sneak up on it. I hope you can see me. There we go. Okay, so that's ready for further embellishing. So that's 3 little pieces. I'm thinking that I'm going to use this on here, but I noticed that this is torn, and I want to do something that will cover that, and you know, I can maybe repair it with a little bit of something and then cover it. So I'm just going to sit on that for now. I have a cello bag here, and I will save that for another day, but I will take this price off of here. I do have a place to put these within arm's reach. Whenever I empty a bag, I right away put them away. So I'm going to use this one too and do the same thing. Okay, so these are getting out of my way. And I have another packaging to use up. So as far as the decorating goes, like I said, I can decorate this afterwards. Same with the back side of this. This had some small labels in it, so that's kind of pretty. I just have to really cover the bottom and top of this. So since I've got all this paper out, I might as well see what I can fit in here from here. Okay, this will go in here. It's a little bit long. I'll just tear off about like that. Actually, that's straight. Let's go this way. Okay, so that fits in there. And we've got some small white, but we've got a bigger white piece here. So maybe that can be the full-length one at the background, as the background. That I'm going to tuck under there. And since it goes so nicely, I'm going to put that one in front. But I'm going to tear it down just a little. Well, maybe I'll save that for another one. Maybe I'll put this one in here instead. So I'll tear that down about there. 3. This would look nice in here, so I'll just tear it in half. It's a little bit short, isn't it? Okay. Can you still see what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay, I'll tuck that one into there. And then that one. That should pretty much do it, right? Okay, they're all up at the top here. So taking my stapler again, I'm going to catch this little one first because it's right in the center. So just taking my stapler, staple it there. And then there. So now this I can just decorate afterwards, cover this a little bit on the back, and it's stapled down. There is some writing in here, but it's quite attractive, so I don't have to worry about any of that. And that's another little notebook. Just have to push those prongs down. So it's not so much the decorating that I'm worried about right now. It's just getting this stuff off my desk and into something that's a little bit more manageable. Okay, so I'm leaving this with that big one here to remind myself to use it. Now I've got all these little pieces. They will get used, and then this can go back into my coffee tray. Actually, I'll put those in there too because that's all coffee stain paper. Get that out of the way. All right, do I cut 2 more of these up? What to do? Okay, I'm going to take this one next. And the first thing I'm going to do is tear away this rough edge that's on here. These were, actually I'll just trim it off. These were, you know, ink stamps. I was playing with an ink stamp and it wasn't quite working out. And so I learned something. So for now, instead, I figured I would use the paper for something. Okay, so this one, I'm just going to fold it in half so I know where the halfway point is. Ooh, I like that side too. It's kind of a flower garden. Well, I'll give it some thought. I'm just going to tear it now. And I'm going to fold this up. Just overlapping slightly. And I'm going to turn this into a little policy envelope, but it's just going to be a little tiny one. And I'm going to turn this up as well for the bottom. And this will be my bone folder, although I think that means I have a glue open somewhere. Yes, I do. Okay. So now I'm going to open this up and I'm going to cut out this little section and that section, cutting it on an angle. Same within here, I'm going to cut it and that corner there. So taking my scissors, I'm just going to trim into that corner and then just ever so slightly take away the fold on here. Doing the same at the top. I'm following where the fold line is, but just on the inside of it so that I know that this envelope is going to close well. And then same within this corner, I'm just taking it on an angle. So that's one way to do these. I'm going to show you another way that's actually easier if you're doing this for the first time. And the same thing on the bottom here, just ever so slightly on an angle. To the corner. Until all 4 are done. So now I can just run my glue. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the one flap. And a little bit on this side as well. And fold it closed. I probably should use my glue paper for this. And then closing the bottom of the envelope. I now have an envelope that's ready to decorate. This doesn't look quite so bad anymore, so it's definitely usable, and also I'll put it in the pile as to be decorated. And now I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm torn. Do I go with that picture? It's quite dark. This gives me more design possibilities. Okay, so I'm going to fold it up and overlap it just slightly. Just enough so I can get my glue to glue the 2 pieces together. And then I'm going to fold the bottom up. And fold down the top probably about 1/2 of an inch. Normally I would like to leave about 3/4 of an inch. If I was making bigger envelopes I would, but for these I'll just do it like that. So then I open it up. Now this is where I say it's the easiest method if you're just doing these for the first time. You can see the fold line here. What I do is I pretend I'm making a tag. So I'm turning this into a shipping tag by clipping the corner. So you can see that I've clipped the corner. Now I could pick this up and measure to do the other side, but I'm not going to bother. It's not part of the, it's not going to be noticeable afterwards. And so I've cut it into a tag at the top. And then I'm going to do the same thing, or that, I guess that's the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the top. I'm going to pretend I'm making a shipping tag. So I'm following the fold. And I'm going to cut that into a tag shape. Same with here, going up to the fold and cutting it into a tag shape. And then when you open it up, these are the 2 flaps you want to keep. These 2 right here. So these are the 4 you're going to cut out, and you just cut them out right on the fold because you've already cut into the corner. So this, wherever you cut it, will be perfect for your envelope. And I'm just going to trim those away. Now I know it's hard to see the fold, but when you're doing this yourself, you'll be able to see it. So the whole trick was to make it look like a shipping tag from both sides. And that's the easy way to know exactly where to cut these. And then this gets folded up again. And there's the bottom to be glued and the top. So I'm going to quickly do that. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this side. And now I know it's the opposite side, so don't make a mistake of thinking that you're gluing on that side as well. It's the opposite side, so always check when you're folding it over. And then just folding it and placing the glue down. And then, which is the, yeah, this is the bottom here, so I'm just going to run my glue along the bottom and close it up. So I now have 2 envelopes. Okay, how are we doing for time? I think we're getting up there. 30 minutes, okay. All right, so that's that. And I'm back to these 2 boxes. I'm going to put them further down in the pile only because I will do that off camera. So my next thing that I'm going to pull out of here is this fan. Now, if you watch one of my thrifty hauls, I got these fans. It was like an address book, so you're supposed to write on all of here. So I thought this would be a perfect thing for journaling on. And on the other side, it has the letter D because this page was, D in the address book. And so I figured I would play on covering those up with the idea that this will go in the center fold of a signature. So I'm going to just fold it. Very nicely so that I take advantage of these little loops here. And I'm taking my glue cap, which is my sometimes bone folder, folding it in half. So this is how it will sit in a signature page. Right in the center, or actually it could be anywhere in the book. It's just that it'll give me 2 writing spaces and 2 decorative pages. So I will go back and decorate on top of this, but now I know that that's what this is. So that's in the pile. I still have all my little pieces here, my strips. Book pages are just book pages. It'll go back to the bottom of the pile here, and I'll just keep working my way down. Okay, I've got this has been kicking around for months because I always said I was going to make a book with it, and I just couldn't find any, or I never had any paper handy when I wanted to make the booklet. And so I'm just going to fold it in half. It's too dark on the inside to be a writing space. I could have folded it the other way, but this pattern is so much prettier. I don't think it has to be perfect. for the fold. So it will become a little notebook. And like I said, it's too dark on the inside here to write on. So I'm just going to take some of my coffee paper. And I think if I just fold this in half, and tear it, and then do it again. Actually, how many pages do I want in here? Do I want to make it like a little signature book? Signature or notebook? Okay, I'll do one more sheet. Fold it in half. Okay, and I'll fold each of these pages individually. Okay. And just put them together. Now, I don't have anything to stitch this together at this point, so it will just go in the cover, and this will be considered ready to be finished. The only thing is I may have to trim off, because I think this will only just get torn if I don't take it at least down a little bit so it's not so picky. Okay, so this I'm just going to fold in here now, and that is going to be a little notebook once I stitch it in, and then I can again further decorate this as I'm going to decorate all of these other pieces. So I need a paper clip to hold it all together. All right. Do I feel any better? No, there's still a huge pile here. Okay, should I just get rid of these things? I'll do them off camera. I'm going to leave them underneath this tray altogether. Okay, I have some blank paper. I have a couple of envelopes. I have this stuff here. Ooh, this is fun. It's going down. I think I'll do this one next. Okay, so what can I do with this? Let's see. It is a book cover for sure. Lots to think about on this page. I'm stuck. And this one is torn, and I will use it. Actually, let's use it right now. I'm just gonna tear that up. And we'll use this blank piece of paper. I'm stuck still. I'm still stuck. I'm stuck. I really like this. You know what? I'm going to use coffee dyed paper. Oh, I have this coffee dyed envelope. Okay, so I'm going to play with the design here first. So I'm just going to tear this out. Okay, and I'll tear this off. And this piece. Now, I use pages that are torn, just like anything else. So this is all the garbage part of this, you know, the broken bits and whatever. So I'm going to just first, you know what, this looks like it would be nice on the back side of this envelope here, doesn't it? So I'm going to, where's my glue paper? What do I do with my glue paper? Oh, well. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm just going to flatten this out a little bit. This is from an old book. I don't think it's a really old book, but it was a book jacket of sorts and in just rough shape. But I keep all this stuff because I always know that I can use it for something. And so I'm going to add that there. I see a barcode that might have come off of something else. So I'm just going to take a little piece of this. Which one? Let's see. Let's take this piece here, because it's a little nothing piece, right? And this is a little bit brittle, so I took it off. And taking my glue stick. I'm going to use that to cover that up, and then I can further embellish on this afterwards. Let's make it straight, Kim. All right. Take my glue cap, just making sure it's glued down. And I see there's a couple of little picky parts on here, so I'm just going to run my glue stick along the edge of those pieces, and then use my finger to just blend it in a little bit. This will help to hold all those little rough edges that we're lifting, and the glue will dry clear. And I will be eventually inking this up anyway, so I don't mind if there's a little bit of a sheen to it right now. It will disappear once I start inking. But so there's the back side of the envelope. And let's take the front now. I'm going to put this corner. Let's see, is there a pattern here? No, I'm going to put this corner down here. So I'm going to tear it. I think I'll put this corner up here. And then this one down here. Well, that worked out really, really good. Okay, I think I can let this piece go. It's pretty shabby looking. So I'm going to stick this down here. All right. Now, as I said, I'm not going to decorate today. I can save this and decorate it in another episode. I'm just not, all I'm concentrating on is this tray to at least get it down where it's a little bit more manageable. Everybody has different methods of how they store all their stuff. I like, these are just meat trays. I think chicken and pork chops come in them now in one of my local grocery stores, and it it takes a little bit of elbow grease to clean them, and there's a plastic saran that you have to peel off on some of them. Some of them they don't have it. Some of them it's just straight the plastic, but some of them you have to peel off the saran. But they sure stack nice, and when they're not overflowing. And I'm not kidding, I have lots. And some are separated by what the papers are, like the coffee paper, and I also have a place for strips that are handy. I have another box of strips. Yeah, I have a lot of those. But I just usually pull out a handful. It's one of those things that I work on all the time. And so I pull out a handful and work on them, and then when I get empty, I go to the big container. But I've been trying to manage myself and keep my strips down to a minimum, so I find I'm taking more out of that box. So hopefully, within 10 years, I should have that box emptied, sort of. Okay, so now I'm just going to put this one up here in this corner. run that along the edge here. And this envelope is now ready to do some basic decorating on it. There's a couple of little lifty spots here I see. So I'll just put a little more glue there. Catch that down. And I will come back and when I'm decorating, I will do more to further enhance this. And okay, so that's done. And I have these words here. They will go nicely to back something, but I really like the white and the gold. I don't know if I can actually, well, first let's just tear it off and see. Okay, I'll put that back in there and that. I don't know if I want to use it on this envelope. It is very interesting. The white and the gold. What does that mean, right? Oh, did I do this upside down? No, I didn't. Okay. So it could go up here. It could go here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paper clip it to here in case I do want to use it. And then if I don't, it'll go into my words box one of these days. So I'll just leave it tucked in there for when I'm decorating. Okay, but I still have this piece left and another piece. These can all be used as bases and collage art. I also have this piece here, which would make a really nice, this would make a really nice little belly band or long journaling card just as it is. So I'm going to leave it and call it ready for decorating. You know, it might end up going with that envelope into something. So that to me says tag or journal card or belly band to be decorated. Yeah, I think so. I think maybe I should trim off this. No, I kind of like it. If I decide to put something else on it, I might incorporate that little bit of green in there because it does match with this. So I'll leave it like that. Now I have another whole page of this to work with and another one of these bands. So now what do? This would make a nice flip out in a book, wouldn't it? Or even a journal cover, using this as the journal cover. Okay, I'm calling that part of this. So all of this now is going to go together. I now have a plan. Okay. And this will get used together. Some of this is random stuff, which is fine. It just goes in my ephemera box. Once I've decorated it somehow, it just goes in my ephemera box. This might only get stitched together and left like that, and then I can add a cluster or something on top of it. And these I will just decorate and have them in my box, but I will save that for another day as well. Okay, then I have some envelopes that need to be covered. I have the music sheets in here that I can probably use to cover those up. And I have some odds and ends little tags. A couple more strips here. This is part of that. I'll put it with that. A couple of little of embellishments that I think I'll have to work on a little bit further. But this is just a book page strip. Let's go into this thing. Okay, so I will put this tucked in here with that. This was a doily that has seen better days, so all I'm going to do with this is take it apart because I want to use the individual pieces. So I'm going to need I'll use these scissors. And I'm going to get this up out of the way. I'll just put it on top here because I'm working on this now. So this will get cut up, and I'd like to do it right now, or at least some of it, so you can see. There's a little nubby right there. I don't know what this will be, but I will leave it off to the side. And so all of these I will cut away from the doily. Oh, there's a few of these little rounds, these little tiny ones. Okay, I see something coming with that. Okay. Okay, so when I'm cutting the doilies, I'm just right now cutting them away, but they do have these little bits hanging off the bottom. I will trim them finer once I'm ready to use these. And the other thing too is I will take all these to the iron and iron them all nice and flat so I can stack them up in one little spot. But that's all I'm going to be doing with those. And then every once in a while you get one of these little things. It's almost like a tag hole, isn't it? So if you have a tag like this one, you could either put it around the hole to make it a little bit more decorative, like trimming off all those little rough edges, of course. So you could make it a little bit more decorative like that, which I could see myself doing. So I will trim these separately and keep them separate together. They would also be nice if you have a little paper flower. You can add the flower, glue the flower down, and this is kind of like a little doily trim around the flower. So yeah, I will package those into a little baggie once they're all cleaned up and trimmed, and continue going with this one. So I think I'm going to stop there, and I will continue working on this off camera until it's done. But I think you got a good idea of where I'm at here. I still have a few things in this basket, but it's not so bad. The strips will go in the strip pile. And this is now a little bit more manageable. And I will just probably add this to another basket and keep going. I don't know. Let me know what you think of this. If I'm on the right track doing this with you online and for you to see what I'm doing. I will come back and decorate these with you and show you the finished product, or decorate them and explain what I did. I'll try to do it very quickly and soon after this video. So yeah, that's what I'm up to today, and I hope this works. Please leave me some kind feedback as to whether or not you like this kind of stuff. Don't give me a thumbs down for it if you don't like it. Just tell me why you don't like it. I would appreciate that. But yeah, I'm just clearing off my desk, showing you what I do off camera, and making another video to share with you. There are some processes in here and some ideas that you can probably do things with yourself, and so this is just a way to show you how quickly and fast I can do things. Did I make 10? Well, I didn't finish anything, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with a few more possibilities. So I'm calling it 10. Okay. Oh, and then I worked on this. Okay. So that's it. That's all for today. I hope you like this. Please let me know. I wish you all a very creative day and a creative week, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye for now.